check that out. There's one person that liked you. These are conversations I've definitely thought out for a second. And you were talking to the damn bounties and every time you
man.
Yeah, man.
Boy,
Yeah, man.
Playboy.
Yeah, thank you, bro. That's a big difference. That's awesome, though. Like so many different things that it's nothing like wrestling. I want the Raiders.
Yeah, come on, Rigo.
Yo, he wants to go back to Welcome back. We're back at it. Check it out, guys. What up? It's me, Brian B. Y'all know me. I've been doing this for a little while now. Had to take a little break. Had some stuff going on. Nothing really. But we're gonna talk about it. Feels good to be back behind the mic, man. I've been, when you've been doing this for so long, whether you're a radio, disc jockey, whatever, when you've been doing this, getting behind the mic, speaking your piece, speaking your mind, what I mean? It feels good, bro. You miss it. But we missed about 3 weeks. It wasn't that long, almost a month. We back at it, yo. The Beeline Entertainment LLC. Thank you guys for all the love and the support over the years. We still got a lot to say, so we're still doing this, man. I'm gonna share with you guys tonight why I kind of took a little bit of a hiatus, why I was really debating on, if I was gonna be coming back, for a while, to be honest with you. And I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna agree with me and want to talk about what we're going to talk about tonight. We're also going to shed some light on some of the good things, man. We're going to talk about some of the good things that, you tend to forget when you're dealing with life, when you're dealing with all these different things you have to go through, situations, scenarios, be that as it may. My name is Brian B, and this is the Beeline Web Show. That's right. The first show that I started when I first started this 6 years ago on this entertainment network. We host on YouTube. We host on Facebook, Twitch, used to be Twitter before they started charging for every damn thing. But yeah, man, we have a lot of different shows. We got a variety. Tonight we are doing the Beeline Web Show. That's Tuesday nights at 9:00 p.m. Eastern time. You can catch us there. But tomorrow night we are back at it. If you are a wrestling fan, we're hitting straight through the ropes. Wrestle Talk with the STR Nation in the building. We're gonna be talking about everything, the events leading up to WrestleMania this year. It's been very mid. But listen, we got to talk about this. That's what we do. We do love wrestling. And of course, returning this week, of course, it is back. The Beeline Entertainment Show, baby. All things entertainment. If you love movies, if you love video games, if you love TV, if you love just like, live music. We talk about a whole bunch of stuff. Comedy, we talk about a lot of stuff. We will be back on, me and my co-host, Kyle Eric. We're going to be talking about what's coming soon. There's a lot of stuff coming out. There's a lot of shit going on, bro. It's a lot going on. We're going to talk about it. Yo, listen, I don't know if y'all was fans of the beginning of the Beeline, bro, but when I first started doing this back in 2020, when a lot of people started making podcasts and having shows and stuff, I used to get the drink. I used to get the drinkity drink. And, you know what I'm saying? I mix it up and I'd be talking shit. Yo, it was like, I don't know, it was one of those things where, you just get a little bit more free. You get a little bit more open, you know what I'm saying? And, for a while, I kind of felt like I had to do that to become interesting or whatever. But I quickly smartened up and was like, I don't want to get lit every time I'm speaking on the mic. So I calmed down. But tonight, y'all, I got me a drink. I cut up some fruit, some lemons, and strawberries and blueberries, and got a little bit of this Jose Cuervo. Got it from the store. I've had this sitting in my mini fridge down here for I don't even know. 4 months. But I thought about breaking it open tonight because I want to talk tonight, yo. I want to talk. I hope people are listening, but if you're not listening, I'm listening because I got a lot to talk about, bro. And it's going to be an eventful show. But yeah, like I said, definitely check us out on all our episodes. If you haven't already, go on over to YouTube and like and share and subscribe to the channel. Definitely click that bell button for the notifications. Once again, Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, and Thursday nights, we putting out our shows. So definitely be there. Check us out on TikTok. Follow us over there. We're getting content back up. Really wrestling heavy. A lot of stuff is wrestling heavy, but I talk about a lot of shit. I'll pass out a couple of information every now and then when I see stuff, especially recently. But also, man, if you want to know where you can find even more of those things that we do, the B-Line Entertainment LLC.com. We still have the website up. It's been up for a couple years now. I'm really, really thankful for it. It's been a amazing project. We do things like, we build websites for companies. We do promotion. We do advertising. We do a bunch of stuff over there. So check us out. The B-Line Entertainment LLC, editing services. If you have your own podcast, if you have your own show, if you need a logo, if you need a brand, we do all of that. We got merch. Check us out. Get some shirts. Get some stuff. We got a lot of stuff, man. I feel good because let's start. Right. I've been doing this for 6 years, man. 6 years. And like I said, we started right at the beginning when everybody was making a podcast. Everybody, celebrities, people in their house, people on the street, people just walking around the mall interviewing people. Everybody was doing stuff where they were getting their content out there. And we started right when COVID hit and everything like that. COVID was damn near going on 10 years ago, man. We're about to hit the 10-year mark of COVID, bro. And when I started this, I was just like, man, I'm about to have fun. I'm about to talk shit. I want to do this. I want to do that. It's been a lot of ups and downs. It's been a lot of times where I was just like, damn, is this worth it? Am I doing it? Am I talking to anybody? And you can feel really like, just underwhelming. Like you feel like people aren't really paying attention to you or don't like you or whatever. So I went through a lot of that. I've been going through a lot of that stuff over the years, to the point where I got to where I was like, listen, I'm doing this for me. I really enjoy it. I want people to enjoy it too. But as long as I know I'm still staying true to myself, I'm going to continue. One of the things that happened recently, bro, has been all of this shit that's been coming out with, I don't know how to say it, but like the real world, like, the real world, like a lot of times I think people recently have been getting reminded. 2020 was another time period where we all got reminded. Like, yo, you wake up every single day and you don't know what to expect. You don't know what to expect when you open the TV, when you turn TV on. You don't know what to expect when you turn the radio on. You don't know what to expect when you open the door. You don't know what to expect, yo. Something new is happening, and you get maybe a couple of glimpses of it before it really happens, and then it's like you're in it. It is what it is. COVID showed the world that shit. It flipped the world as we know it on its heels. A lot of stuff got started, a lot of things got changed. I mean, I know one of the things I did was I started working from home. I haven't looked back since. But also I built a business, I built a career and everything like that or whatever. But at the same time, it took like a drastic change of perspective to do that. Now, recently, man, we've had all of these, whether it be the leaks, whether it be just like, whatever you want to look at it as, like, call it disclosure, call it whatever, man. When you think about it, bro, everything to UFOs and aliens to, demonic stuff and, all this other shit or whatever. You want to watch what you say because they shadow ban the shit out of everybody. You can't talk about it freely. A lot of stuff has been going on. I know my last episode I did where I did like a free talk, I was talking about it a little bit more, but I wasn't talking about the struggle that I was having to kind of keep entertaining this platform. Like, and I don't mean anything about you by YouTube. I just mean any like altogether in general, like, just social media, just media in general. Like, and I really wanted to figure out if this was something that I wanted to continue. I've seen a lot of content creators talking about the same thing. Like, do you want to still be highly invested? Do you want 1 million people to see your content? Do you want to be known by 1 million people at this point? Like, what is the benefits of constantly being surrounded by so much bullshit? Like, you really don't understand. Oh shit, I got a guest in the building with me. Hey, listen, I don't know if he know what he getting into because but I'm glad to see him, man, because it feels really good to be back behind the mic. And I think we're going to talk some really real shit tonight. My man, if you don't know, you about to find out because, this is my man. He's my co-host on the entertainment show. And he's definitely been on plenty of the web shows as well. But from the A for Able podcast, my guy, Kyle. Eric, what up, Kyle?
What's good? What
up, bro? Hey, yo, first off, yo, I miss you, bro. It's been
miss you too.
We used to do shows and shit every week, man. I really appreciate it. And I haven't talked to you in a little while, like on the show and everything. But how you doing, bro? You good?
Life is, life is good. It's full of ups and downs, but but life is good.
Good to hear, bro. Yeah, I was just getting on and just sharing with the audience, like, about like, why I had to step back and kind
Mhm.
of take a break. And I've done this before. Like I've had
Yeah,
full episodes where I was just like, hey man, I'd kind of figure out if I still wanted to do this, man.
it
And
happens.
yeah, with all the recent events of all the truth coming out. Now
Mhm.
that's a big word, Kyle. All right,
Yeah.
let's get deep in this shit. Truth, the
Mhm.
truth. I think a lot of times now where we have such a world of discredibility, like you can easily dismiss something. You can
Mhm.
say something's AI, you can say something is Hollywood, you can say something is manipulated. It's hard to distinguish, hey, this is real, hey, this is false. Like,
Yeah.
but recently, one of the things that I've been noticing, and I do it too. I'm not saying it's like just people in general.
Yep.
I do it too, but it's recently I've been paying attention to how many times some of the current events have been discredited, and I
Mm.
haven't heard shit. I've heard not one person coming out. The Clintons was like the only ones that were coming out trying to say, oh, we're gonna go and like stand trial against this stuff or whatever. But
Yep.
that's it. I haven't heard shit. I haven't heard nobody dismissing anything. I haven't heard anybody saying that's false.
Uh-huh.
It's all been like true.
Yep. And that's the, but that's the, it's the crate. What's, how they say the truth is stranger than fiction?
I'm telling you,
I mean,
apparently.
it is like it is such a like, and it makes you think, oh, so is that why they banned my favorite book?
Mm,
Is that why they canceled this TV show?
I'm telling you.
Is that why they blocked this person on this platform because he was getting too close to the truth? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
is that why all you need is money, influence, and a few connections, and you can make that happen.
I'm telling you. And that's really what it's been. That's why I was just saying, like I was opening the show basically just saying that. Like you reach a point where when it comes to like celebrity, when it comes to like, you know, popularity, like you get to a level
Yep.
like, hey, I want to be famous. And famous is a really big word, yo. Are you saying it
Yeah.
because you want to be rich, you want the lifestyle, you want to have the big cars, you want to have the nice stuff? You feel me?
Hmm.
Like stuff. That's all it is stuff.
Stuff.
Or are you saying it because you want people to know your name? You want to leave behind a legacy because either, from your art, your craft, your beauty, you know what I'm saying? Whatever extravagance that have for your vanity or whatever. But
Yeah.
it's just like there's a difference. Fame doesn't have to be. There's plenty of people, whether it be in music field, you have ghost writers, you have people in the background who never get any kind of facial
Recognition.
exposure.
Yeah.
Exactly, like yeah, not even recognition because you got plenty of guys who will write, but you have no idea who they are. And
True.
even if you heard their name, you'd be like, okay, I don't know what that motherfucker looks like. He could still go sit in a restaurant and do whatever.
Hmm.
But now it's like, when you're looking at how to get fame, like, yeah, I think a lot of people would want, like, hey, I want to be comfortable. I want to have the money. I want to have, the value. But
Hmm.
I don't know I don't want to be super exposed. Like, I don't want to be out there to everybody,
Oh
to
no.
be able to be manipulated and to be able to be seen and put in the situations that I don't want to be a part of, but
Yep.
guilty by association, no matter what happens and shit. You feel me? Like, how do
Yeah.
you feel?
That's why I'm not surprised anymore when certain actors they drop off the map and they
Mm,
don't want to come back. Like people for example, uh Malcolm in the Middle reboot's coming, right?
yeah,
And the kid who played Dewey, he did not come back. They had somebody else play his character.
yeah,
He just wanted a quiet life after all this stuff because he had been playing that kid for what was it? They were on for like six
like 8
seasons,
years.
8
Yeah, I think it was
years.
7 seasons. Yeah,
Yeah, that's it. He just wanted to live a quiet life after that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like we are so especially with reboots now. It's like, oh, are we gonna get everybody in this? No. Oh,
yeah.
what? No, why not? Oh well. sometimes it's obvious. Sometimes they just do not want to. They don't want to play that character anymore. They don't want to be associated with it, or they didn't have a good time the first time, so they don't want that trauma again, or they unfortunately passed.
Yeah, that's true too. Especially when you're rebooting stuff from 20, 30 years ago. I mean, we're definitely going to talk about it on the entertainment show too, but it's just like with you saw recently, one that I was getting excited for was the Buffy the Vampire reboot.
Oh, yeah.
I was really like, I was looking forward to it because I was definitely a big Buffy the Vampire fan, but it's just like you do understand that all of these shows, like just like you just said, like you got people that are, who've been done doing that show for 20, 30 years. They just came back with Scary Movie. And you saw that they had a lot of the returning cast from the original, because they had the fucking 7 of those. Yep. But like a lot of the returning casts from like the first ones are coming back to play parts on this one. That shit was from like 2000, bro.
But the thing
26 years ago.
I think what what it also is with in Scary Movie's case, and I know we'll definitely talk about this on the entertainment show, but with Scary Movie's case, they were like, remember, their property was taken from them.
That's right.
The Wayans Bros, they it was, hey, what's going on,
Eric?
Eric?
Keep killing it too, bro. Yeah, Eric's been killing it, man, on his show. Shout out to the Random Thoughts of Eric G podcast for sure.
Yeah, but like the company that they were working with, they took the rights from them. Mm-hmm. So it was, so of course there was things different. They saw that things were different, but that franchise, especially 1 and 2, were making a lot of money.
A lot of noise too.
So they thought, and it was controversial even for the time.
Oh,
and they thought they could just repeat the Wayans formula without the Wayans, and it didn't. Right. It didn't work out that way. But now that we're in a state of remakes, reboots, reimaginings, all of that, the whole nine, like people say they want original stuff, but are you going out to see the original stuff, or are you just,
That's a good point too, bro. And this even backtracks to wrestling. And let me tell you something. We like this topic, like, we started off in a different era, but we're moving on to here. But it's a good point because it's kind of like filtering from what we were talking about. It's like one of the weird things that's going on in the world today, bro. Mm-hmm. We're in I don't know. I got to be careful how to say this because we're in a world of like originality is dead, but these things that are original aren't original. I don't know how to fucking describe it. Like AI is original, right? By definition, it's original. It's originality. Like nobody's really done this shit before. Hey, let's just get a machine to make all our shit for us. Not manufacturing, but just like literally, let's take our ideas and speak them into existence, literally, because that's what AI is. Go to ChatGPT right now and say, draw me a picture of a fat guy eating a cake, and the AI is going to do the shit. It's almost like a dream if you think about it. So it's a weird new way of production. And with it is coming falsified ideas that are coming from real ideas. So you have somebody just saying, hey, I want to make a movie with 3 guys who go and find a dinosaur and then they keep him as a pet. And then bam, AI makes the whole script for you, blah, 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 this and that. So it's like there's originality, right? But it's not real originality because it's artificial. So it's like a weird ass motherfucking, it's a weird what's that shit called? Pandora's box.
It is. It's a very like in one hand it's interesting, but it also shows shows that because companies. What have we talked about we've talked about this on both the web show and the entertainment show when it comes to AI entertainment and just real life. You know what I'm saying? It has gotten to a point where we're getting to a point where people still can't tell the difference between what's real and what's AI.
Every day it advances.
And that's the scary part. You have AI writing its own programming. You have AI if you're trying to shut it down, it'll just jump to a whole nother shoot. I remember just last month we were talking about AI having its own social media platform. Now, come to find out, that was just a test; it was a farce. But people started thinking because it had a whole interface. It just looked like a bunch of AIs were cracking on humans. You know what I'm saying? And it made me go, okay. Just imagine this, because if they do become that self-aware, right? And that's the scary part. If it does become that self-aware, whether you're using generative AI, whether you're using AI for medical reasons, whether you're using AI, they just had to state that you cannot copyright an AI generated image.
I'm saying, how the fuck can you?
You can't. And I had a talk about that with my brother, because he uses AI in some of his works. And I'm like, well, think about it, man. It's not you, it's the machine. It's not a human, it's the machine. If anything, you would be paying the machine for, you know what I'm saying?
Your adaptation, but on this topic, damn, I kind of lost my thought on it, what you were saying.
Yeah, sorry, dude.
No. I mean, you're making a good point, because it's difficult. It's difficult to like Eric said, there's still originality, and I'm not saying all originality is dead. Sinners is one movie, but look, we've been talking about that fucking one movie for how long now? Like, has there been any more?
Since it came out? Since it came out,
that's the only movie that I guess everybody could agree on was like, okay, original. But it's like, this is what I was gonna, this was my point. Like, when it comes to the stuff that we're playing with. The shit that we're playing with, you feel me? Like, we should know this by now. If we're getting this advanced AI, interaction, whatever we use, ChatGPT, Apple Intelligence, all of this different stuff, you don't think that the motherfuckers who really use this stuff for manipulation or worldwide, whatever, whatever they're doing, you don't think they got the real shit? Like, they got, if we're making videos where it's getting harder and harder by the month to distinguish if it's real. I mean, there's programs out there that people are paying $200-something a month for, and in 20 minutes they're making full movies. That's fucking insane. That's insane. So it's like, if we have that service to play with, just think what they really have to do whatever with. You hear shit like the Project Blue Beam, and you hear all this different stuff. Like, there's real stuff out there, bro. And not for nothing, like, getting a little deeper into like I said, one of the reasons why I was stepping back, I was having a really hard time formulating different thoughts, that were meaningful or entertaining. Like, everything was getting to the point where I was just like, I don't know what to believe anymore. I came on here the last episode, I think, and I was literally saying, I believe nothing, but I believe everything. It's this weird fucking double-edged sword, bro.
Yeah. You got a Schrodinger's cat conundrum. It could either
like, is the cat alive?
Is the cat alive, or is the cat dead? You won't know unless you open the box.
Exactly. And it's crazy, Kyle, because like I said, like, it was one of the things where I had to step back and I had to say, hey, listen, do I still want to engage in this shit? Do I still want do I want to take potential? And I'm not saying anything, but anything can happen. Anything's possible. If I get in front of this camera and I do a show like this, it's possible. Tomorrow morning, I can wake up. Somebody could have watched it, and something I said hit a nerve or struck a thing or just went into the right algorithm, and bam, 700 million people watched it. And we're like, what the fuck? I do shows like this all the time. This isn't even my best one. But that one hit. And now my life is completely different. My life is completely something that it never was before. And even though I've been kind of chasing that, with everything that's been going on and the confirmation of it, that's the bad part. It's not like even just the gossip. It's like, I've been looking for people to discredit this shit, and nobody is. Everything's real. This really is happening. This is
really happening, and you can look up, and you can look up more, even though they're trying to block it. You can still
constantly, right?
Constantly trying to block it. Like, you only gave us 2% 2%. What does that mean? Just 2%? Are you
Now,
freaking?
I saw this this thing because these interviews, man. I've really been watching these interviews. I kind of want to start getting back into interviews, and I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm just like, please stop. I don't want to talk about how you're a life coach, and I'm sorry, bro. I'm not trying to discredit anybody, but I'm just like, damn, bro. There's so much happening. Can I get one person that is like, just gonna want to talk about some wild? I want some wild shit. A fucking meteor hit Ohio today.
I heard about yo. I don't
want to talk about life coaches anymore, bro.
I was at a radio station earlier today.
Yeah,
right? I was at a radio station with my mom earlier today. She was being interviewed, and they talked and the DJ before like every so often they would have like breaks in between where it would just be the two DJs talking before they got into the segment with us, right? Yeah. Shout out to the Tea and Cornbread podcast. Yeah, he had mentioned the meteor, and his buddy who was on on call. He was on call on the radio with him, and he was like, "Oh, dude, that's because of the and he was like, watch that not be a meteor. Watch that be because of the war." I'm like,
I tell you.
Oh man, I didn't want to say nothing because he could be right, even though what's the likelihood? But at the same time,
it's weird. You don't know that. Like I said, I believe everything, but I believe nothing. It's this weird place to live, man. It's like you literally live in the gray zone, and it's because you have to, because you don't know what you see and what you hear are no longer valid factors to what is real, and that is fucking terrifying. Yeah. And it's one of the reasons, like I said, I'm gonna keep saying it, that I've had to sit back and I had to step back and say, do I want constant involvement, engagement with this type of industry, with this type of platform? And I'm back. You see me here. Like, it didn't even take me fucking long. Like, I think my last show I did was like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, you took a few weeks off, but I was telling you, dude, I'm like, do what you got to do. I mean, because sometimes, because number one, burnout is real. Okay, burnout is real. You got a family to support. You know what I'm saying? And so it was completely understandable for me. You know what I'm saying? I take long breaks. The algorithm don't like me. It buries me because my breaks are too long.
Yeah. But you know what, Kyle? The thing about this break, like, and that's why I want to talk about it, because it's just like, you're absolutely right. Like, you get to points where you're like, oh man, damn. Like, it could even be, you're just tired of doing it. It could even be like, you don't see the progression, and it's just hard to kind of keep, going forward sometimes. But honestly, this one for me was just, there's just so much going out. I don't know how to go out and say anything else besides what's really happening. I didn't want to talk about wrestling. I didn't want to talk about movies. I'm like, I don't care about anything. I'm just like, all of this real shit is happening. I felt stupid. I felt dumb. I'm like, all of this real shit is happening. And I'm about to go talk about the Spider-Man movie. Fuck Spider-Man. Like, unless he's real. Like, I want to talk about, like all of this shit is coming out. Like, the world that I've been taught my whole life, the existing. I used to laugh at people who used to talk about flat earth, and I just dismiss people. And now I'm sitting here like, I don't fucking know what to believe.
You don't know what
they might be right. The motherfuckers who say it's round, it might be right. I have no idea. I can't justifiably argue with 75% of shit that I used to argue with, because I have no idea. There's been so much, bro. When I tell you, I mean, from slavery, from Holocaust, there's so much shit that is coming out that we've been told, if you live in this country, and then it's like, Kyle, here, this weird, the weird understanding you get where you've been seeing something for so long, and you've known that, this is weird. You get that weird feel. You make the face like, what the fuck is this? This is weird. Why do we say this? Why do we talk like this? Why do we think that?
Yeah.
And then it's like you hear the real shit, and you're like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, I was right. That was right.
Yeah.
Why do we say this? Why do you say that? Welcome, hello. Fuck. I'm telling y'all, bro. When I say everything,
Yeah.
I mean everything is insane right now.
It's insane because
Insane.
like so you had this awakening a long time ago, but every so often, because you and I have talked about this.
Yes.
But every so often you get another reality check.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
hard to fake it.
Hold up. So this is the reality that I thought, and this is what is really happening. Like people say, "Oh, I'm unplugging from the Matrix."
Yes.
I'm unplugging from the Matrix. I'm questioning everything. I'm questioning nothing. I'm because we have been lied to our entire lives,
our entire existence,
our
entire fucking
existence. Like, okay, like for example, I forgot today was St. Patrick's Day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, completely forgot because I don't really care. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, big ups to those who celebrate it, but at the same time, like when you got people coming out and saying, and they've been saying this for years, and I have to constantly remind myself of this. The story of St. Patrick's Day, what we've been given was a farce.
Oh yeah,
right?
Of course, it all is.
And I'm like, so why are you still celebrating it?
My wife has been telling me. I'm telling you, it's a weird thing where you don't want to get rid of tradition.
You don't want to get rid of tradition because there's good things. There's fun. There's fun attached to it. There's fun attached to it. There's fun attached to to Christmas, even though I know
everything.
Like everything. Like there's fun attached to that. If I found out that because I know I have friends or had friends at one point whose birthday happened on 9/11. Now, this was before they were born on September 11th. Before it became 9/11.
Exactly.
But after 9/11, they did not like to celebrate their birthday anymore, even though it had nothing to do with them. They're not the reasons that 9/11 happened. But because it happened, it makes them feel like, why should I be celebrating when so many people lost their lives that day?
Man, that's a hard and listen, this is a good conversation right here, because I think it's one of those things where you can have an argument for it, you can have an argument against it. But I think they're in the gray area. If you're in the gray area, you're just sitting in the shallow end of the pool, not too deep, not too shallow. But just like you just said, there's an argument for both sides, but it makes sense that there's an argument for both sides. I personally would be on the other side where I'm just like, hey, listen, that didn't happen. I understand the concept. I understand what you're trying to express, but you were born on that day, and that's still a cause of celebration. If you want to incorporate the fact that, hey, something terrible happened and now it's a constant reminder on that day of celebration, I can understand that, but that's the battle that you have to pick for yourself personally. But you're not wrong if you choose to sit it out. I don't agree with that, but you're not. I would never be like, oh, I don't understand how you couldn't. I understand. But you wouldn't be wrong either if you said, hey, this is my birthday. I know this happened. I'll say a prayer on this side, but I'm still going to club and party and, eat my cake, because I deserve it. I didn't do the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of, like you said about the Christmas and everything else, like St. Patrick's Day. It's there's lore, there's, fairy tales, whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, even if you found out the real shit, if I want to go to work and wear a green hat and, a 4-leaf clover on my face,
you have the right to do so.
You got the right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got all the info in the fucking world, but at the end of the day, it's just like there's other reasons why you enjoy that. And you enjoy it because of what was represented for you. So at the same time, you can't, tell somebody that they're wrong for how they express, their celebration or whatever.
Nah.
fucking weird, man. It's
the
weird.
same. Like I think like okay, so like when I found out the real reason behind Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
right? And I heard that other people stopped celebrating it. I'm like, oh, excellent, beautiful, beautiful. What I celebrated for now is just another reason to see my family.
See my family.
I have a huge family. I am thankful for the family. I'm thankful for the right, for the information because I feel like as a kid they should have probably told us this before we started doing plays about the freaking Native Americans and the Pilgrims. Like seriously, you grading me on how good a paper turkey is when really it ain't got nothing to do with turkey. But because I'm a little kid, you think, oh, this is just, this is gonna go over his head, blah 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 blah. Like really now.
It's conditioning, man.
It's conditioning. It's conditioning. They've been doing this to us since the beginning. Our parents went through it, their parents went through it, and other generations before them went through it. And it's in books.
Yeah.
It's in
books.
They
change history. They change history. They change I've been going like way far back. I mean, there was events in the 1920, the Titanic. They're it's almost every single event that you've heard the story for, that you've watched the movie for, that you've learned in history class. Everything is manipulated for patriotism, for control. It's everything is manipulated, bro. Nothing is giving you the exact fact, and that's why. Man, this shit can get so deep.
That's why we're here, right?
Yeah. It's hard. It's still hard to talk about because, at least for me, you still get them blocks where you're like, well, I say to myself, where I'm just like, oh man, if I say this, these motherfuckers are going to press the shit. They're going to do this. I've been watching a lot of TikTokers and stuff like that who have been coming on videos and making stuff, and now they're getting strikes. They're getting strikes. It's just them talking, and they're getting sent appeals and stuff like that or whatever because they're saying, hey, you have unoriginal content. That's been the big one lately.
I've been seeing that too. I'm not even on TikTok like that, but it's like I'm seeing. But once again, it's all about control. This has been going on really since TikTok started popping over here. You know what I'm saying? And the more people, and the more you have people who are like, because like the more I started trusting TikTok more than I would trust. Like I'm not a big news watcher. Yeah. So, and I know what it takes to make the news. You know what I'm saying? But when I was following actual newscasters who had gotten fired from their job, for one reason or another, it made me go, huh.
Yeah, man.
Why? What? Oh, because you're reporting on something they didn't want you reporting on.
That's right, because they had different reasons for whether it be, they don't want the news released, they don't want the information put out the way that maybe more factual. Maybe they want to put out so it represents something different. They want it to represent something different for personal values. They want to represent it for viewership. You got all the fucking you know what I'm saying? Like, because the network is owned by whatever company is owned by, so they don't want that information to be. It's a lot of different things. But let's go ahead and for a minute, let's switch gears real quick, because you said newscasting, and one of the reasons why I wanted to jump on this show, and I called it like the good things. Yeah. Because it's been a lot of shit, right? It's been a lot of shit. Like you said, Kyle, this isn't the first show we've had. This has been an ongoing thing recently, whether it's the AI conversations, whether it's the disclosure, conversations. Like, there's been a lot of shit happening this year and last year, ever since 2020, to be honest with you. A little before then even, but really, really starting to come out these last 6-7 years or whatever.
I still can't believe it's been that long already.
I started the show saying that shit.
Yo, it feels like it was like poof, flash. This is 6 years later. So much stuff has happened. So many people lost. So many. Oh, I don't want to get in. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go
No, you're right, bro. You're right. It's really crazy, man. But it's like, that's the reason why I had saw a post on Facebook, and it was a newscaster, bro. I don't know if you guys, well, you're from up north like me,
Yeah.
and in New York we had a newscast. You know, if you remember, to lay a little bit of the story down, back in the day, you used to watch SmackDown. You know, if
Yeah.
you was a WWE fan, you watched the Thursday Night SmackDown on UPN 9, and they had, after SmackDown, it was on at 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock news comes on after. So you would always see, like, you know, once it was starting to close out, you'd see the news guys come on. It would be Brenda Blackman and Ernie Anastas. Ernie Anastas was his name. And I always, as a kid, used to see Ernie Anastas and Brenda Blackman. And sometimes I'd watch a little bit of the news. Does wrestling go off, and then news be on. You see a story when you're a kid, and you're like, oh, wow, what the hell is this? But Ernie Anastas, I had to be maybe what, fucking 11, 12, 13, whatever.
Yeah.
And I saw he recently passed away. And it was weird. It was weird. Now let me say, his death wasn't weird, you know, and definitely RIP to him, you know, for sure. What was weird was when I saw it, I had a connection. And the connection was a good feeling. It was a good feeling. I didn't watch the fucking news, bro. That's like you just said, Kyle. Like, I was a news watcher. It wasn't like I was like, oh, I can't wait for Ernie Anastas to come on and I can watch. He was just a good memory in my past that I had associated with something I used to enjoy. Where, you know, as a kid, I used to watch wrestling, and then in the midst of wrestling, you know, I loved wrestling, and you see the news report. Hey, and right after WWF SmackDown, we had Ernie Anastas and Brenda Blackman with the 10 o'clock news. You see that, and then you see, oh man, I remember I used to watch every Thursday. You saw that news guy come on, and then I saw he passed. I was like, I had a connection with that guy. It wasn't even, I didn't follow his work. I didn't know his life. I had a connection with that guy, though. And it was a weird understanding of like, man, that made me feel good. It made me feel good to lose something that I never really had, that I still had emotion for. Isn't that isn't it like, and literally just saying it in that way, where it's just like, you talk about things that are hard, like you talk about things that are bad, you talk about things that are like rough to deal with, but it's like you forget, man, you forget that you wake up in the morning. And I know this shit sounds crazy, Kyle, like it probably sounds like good, but I mean, it's crazy. Like, you forget that when you wake up and you walk outside, like, you know, first of all, you woke up. That's, of course, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's awesome. You know what I'm saying? But you walk outside and it's beautiful outside. It's one of them days where as soon as you open your door, the sun kind of just creeps in, and you step outside and you immediately feel the warmth of the sun, even if it's a chilly day, and you see the grass is growing because the sun is producing life. And you step outside and it's warm and it's fresh and the sky is blue and the trees are just moving slightly because it's a breeze, and it's wonderful, bro. But how many times do you stop and take that shit in and appreciate it without like a reason, like, oh, you got cancer, or you gotta die tomorrow, or some crazy shit. I was in a car accident, so now I'm appreciative of life. Like, how many times you were just on your way of your regular rat race and you just stop and just appreciate something good?
It's and that's real. No, that's real, because I got family that are dealing with health problems right now. And they're telling me, like, they're straight up telling me, enjoy life, man. Enjoy life, because they know that they don't know what the next day is going to bring for them. It could be a good day, it could be a bad day. And they were the type of people who would be like, I'd talk to them. I'm like, hey, how's it going, man? How's it going with family? They'd be like, ready to take over the world, man. and they'd work these crazy hours, right, to come home, put their PJs on, and play solitaire on their computer. That was their solitude. Then when their health problems started happening, well, their solitude was really looking at looking at family and growth and stuff like that, and seeing what their next move was going to be. But then their health problems started happening, and then they were like, this is what it took for me to actually just sit down and look at the freaking flowers or that bird that's on my fence or like stuff like that, just to slow down. Because the world itself is fast, you know what I'm saying? Like
super fast, man.
You never know. I lost 2 relatives in the span of in the span of a month and a half.
Yeah,
and they weren't in. And one of them was barely in their 40s. The other one didn't even reach 40. Right, and even though I have lost relatives very young before, I think one of the youngest that I can remember being 21. I know that they lived life. You know what I'm saying? They lived life. Yes, but they lived life on their terms.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah. I'm only just now figuring out what that means. Because I was a very sheltered kid by choice. You know what I'm saying? So I'm only just now really realizing what that means to just go outside, take everything in and appreciate it for what it is, because it may not be here the next day. You may not be here the next day. So I get that harsh, like, dose of reality.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man. It's one of the reasons, like I said, like, it's crazy. Like, a news reporter, gave me that, like you said, hard dose of reality, in a time period where I was just kind of. And this has been continual, like you said, like, I lost my brother a couple years back now. Damn, years back, and it's like, it's just been a crazy realization of you don't ever forget, but you continue, and I think that's what the biggest thing is. And just like you were saying before, like, all the stuff, like, I've come on this show and I've talked about, like, this stuff that we've been talking about for a while. And then I come back and I'm talking about other shit and I'm laughing, I'm doing this. You don't forget, you just keep going.
Yeah.
And after a while, you hit the roadblock again because it never goes anywhere. That's kind of how the information is. Like, you can hear something from 20 years ago. And you heard it and it was real. But it was just there. And then you go to work the next day, you go to Disneyland, you do all this other shit, you have a fucking blast, you hook up with somebody, life is good, life is bad, your car breaks down, you missed a job, you stressed out, you went to the hospital, life is continuing. And then 20 years later, something happens and it reminds you of, wait a minute, it reminds you that it's still in effect. Like, it didn't go anywhere. You went somewhere, but it didn't go anywhere. It's been happening that way. You ever have these thoughts, like, when you hear these conversations? I think about this shit all the time. You hear these things where these people come out and they have every 5 minutes, the world's gonna end. The world's gonna end. Hey, June 2025. Yeah, the Mayans said 2012. We're gonna.
It's the rapture. It's the
rapture. It's this.
You know how many rapture reports I have seen in just this past year alone, dude?
Motherfuckers might not be off this time. I ain't gonna lie. I've been paying attention.
Oh man.
But listen. But yeah, exactly. But exactly the point. Like, everybody got knowledge, right? But here's the thing, yo. Who's to say? The same way you get that information and you're like, oh, nothing happened. Who's saying nothing happened, bro? We don't. Everything is cause and effect. How many times have we heard? There was a crazy ass theory that the world ended and we're like a repeat simulation.
Yeah, heard that one too.
But the thing is, how the fuck can you certify that that's not real? How do people have all of this information? Is motherfuckers really just making everything up? Or is there other factors at work. And that's why I'm saying, like, there's so, Kyle, I'm telling you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I did the show last time when I did it was like 3 weeks ago, or it was like a month ago. This last episode of this show, and I was literally talking about how the fuck do we know we're not superheroes, yo? How do we know we're not? We don't. How do we know that our true beings, our true presence, our true existence, we're supposed to be living 400, 500, 600 years, yo? If you want to get biblical, if you want to get, and the reason why it matters is because the motherfuckers that's in power, they are biblical. It's all following those events. So it's like, even if you're not a true believer, or you don't think that it's right, or you just think it's that, the motherfuckers who is doing this stuff are following the story. They're following the presence. They're reenacting. They're re-engaging. They're doing whatever. It's like that. They're using that as the blueprint. There's so much going on, yo, that if you don't start thinking for a second, what if I use this part of my brain? What if I did this? What if I didn't have? Why are they teaching us this shit that we don't need to know? Why are they trying to dumb us down? Why are they poisoning the food? What the fuck are they trying to dull us down for?
Oh, they've been trying that for years.
But what if we are like the most powerful fucking beings ever? Like, you feel me though?
Yeah,
what if like human?
So many stories.
What if we were fucking Power Rangers? What all the shit we want, yo? And I know it sounds funny, right? And I'm being a little funny with it. Yeah. But I'm dead ass. Like, what if the reason? Can you think of any other story or any movie we've ever watched where the bad guy is trying to hold down the people because they're not powerful? Oh, let me go hold down an anthill.
Yeah,
that's outside my house right now, just to do it. I'm gonna use all my fucking forces just to do. When has that ever happened?
And just okay, you know how? All right, since all of this stuff's been going down, a clip of a classic Pixar film I've been seeing for a long time is A Bug's Life. In A Bug's Life, the leader of the grasshoppers, Hopper, tells his that's literally his name. Hopper,
yeah, his name.
Right? He's the big bad. He's the guy that everybody's supposed to be afraid of, including his own family.
Yeah.
Right? And they're like, they just got the food from the ants, because the ants have to basically, work their little selves to the bone to feed these grasshoppers, so they'll leave them alone for another few months, right? Yep. And they're playing around with the grain, and they're like, oh, but no, imagine this grain is a puny little ant, right? That's one, doesn't hurt, right? Another one doesn't hurt, right? But a whole bunch of them. And then he says the realest stuff. You let one ant stand up to us, and they all might stand up, which is why they got to keep them. Which is why they got to keep them down. That's why they keep them under. They got to keep them under their, under their thumb.
Yep.
That's what it was. The same thing it was back in slavery times. That's why they told the slaves, oh, if you just obey your master, that's a good, then God will favor you, but you're not allowed to read or write. You're not allowed to read or write. Some of them ain't even allowed to learn how to drive. They're only allowed to do what we say they're allowed to do. You keep them down, you keep them on their thumb, and you keep control. That way, they won't rebel. But the minute somebody starts to rebel, and then they get somebody else to rebel, and then someone else to rebel, and then someone else to rebel, it becomes a problem. We're stronger together than we are apart. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what that's what our government, because it's been shown time and time again. People get frustrated, and they will either take it upon themselves to do something crazy, or they'll listen to whomever's in charge, and they'll be like, oh, this is my time to shine. I got to do it. I got to blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, that's absolutely right. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and
I mean, if you
but why
think
do you
about the
think they're
whole
also
system,
censoring us on the internet? Why do you think they're censoring us on the internet? Like, we have to use certain words just so they don't get flagged.
oh yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
It's all the control. It's all the control thing, bro. But like you said, I mean, you bring up like the best points. That's exactly why we are, in the era we're in, because everything is all about separation and segregation. Like, you have to have people busy. You got to have people busy. You got to
Busy.
have people entertained. It's the same factor of, why do you think they had the stuff going on, the Coliseums, and like everything was so you can give people something to look forward to, give people something to distract them, give people something that's
Yeah.
going to keep them engaged in mediocre bullshit that doesn't matter, instead of figuring out the wonders and mysteries of the world. How do you achieve higher? Why do these motherfuckers all want to achieve higher and keep us low? Because of power. It's the only
Yeah.
reasonable answer. It's because somebody knows the ascension. Somebody knows what steps need to be taken, or at least they're trying really fucking hard to figure it out by
Yeah.
letting all the other squirrels run for the nuts while them motherfuckers is in the ballpark, drawing the schematics. And that's why, like I said, bro, whether it be you believe that it's humanity versus humanity, meaning that we're all on equal playing fields. It's just some people have higher advantages, or here's the big fucking crazy shit that gets blocked, that gets you fucking shadow banned, or it really is, there's different I don't know, species, there's different civilizations, there's a lot of different dimensions, whatever, that are higher than us. And that's the reason why we have to stay in the position we are, because we have potential to elevate. We have potential to become higher. You even see it with certain with certain people, bro. You see it with, whether it be like monks or the Shaolins. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's groups of people who achieve human healing, and even there's fucking rarity cases of people who are born with crazy ass abilities, but it's like I said, bro. I've been on another level with this shit recently, bro, because I'm just starting to understand, because of all the truth that's really just finally coming out, and it's less disputed. I'm just starting to understand that there may not be as much of a limit to a lot of the shit that we think we are limited to. And I'm not trying to talk in rhyme and shit, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know, bro. I just feel like I've been having just more of an understanding lately, yo. And it's just been a lot deeper, not in a bad way, but in a way where I just don't feel as comfortable entertaining nonsense. I don't care to talk about I'm not dating anymore either, so it's like, that's off the table. Like, I talk about like relationships sometimes. I'm not trying to talk about sex all the fucking time. Like, people are just caught up in a lot of bullshit, man. And I mean, not to be mean, I
don't think
there should be so many more conversations like this, bro. Shouldn't there?
Yeah, there should be. I think there should be. I think there's room for everything. I think that once you find that balance, which is why we relegate certain conversations to certain shows. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we were just, we homies, right? Like, say you came over and we just chilling. Any conversation could happen. I just had one with my brother. We went from American politics to the war to Power Rangers to freaking the politics of wrestling. The politics of wrestling. He's he's a wrestling fan at the same level as you. And I asked him, I'm like, okay, so what would you do if you were an owner of one of these, wrestling companies? Because it seems like, and we talked about the Paramount and Warner Brothers thing. We talked about the fact that people are trying to take over the media, and it's not who you think it is. We talked about a whole mother load of stuff. We talked about family because he's got kids. I got nephews and nieces. We talked about we talked about everything because that's my brother. We talked about all of it. I've known him for 20 plus years. There's nothing that we haven't talked about, you know. But the more we talk, the more I realize, like, number one, he's supposed to be in my life. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, right? Number two, it is certain people that will keep you grounded. And then there are other people that will keep you in the dark. And the ones that keep you in the dark, eventually when you figure out who they are, it's like, okay. Like my mother would say, like, people are in your life for reasons and seasons. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody is supposed to be in your life forever, even though I'm the type of person that wanted to keep everybody, but you never know when things start to, shift. And it might be for a good thing that you could see them again later on. And then next thing you know, you have a better friendship than you did before. But then so it's like, and we didn't have like him and I didn't have like a huge disagreement or anything, and there was a time where him and I were both distant, but he was dealing with personal stuff and he didn't want to bog me down with it. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, bro, you do what you got to do, and I know we'll come together again, and we did. And we're stronger for it.
That's a really like, that's a really mature like situation that you have to be able to handle in that way. It is so not easy to know how to dismiss people when needed. And I recently like have had to do that. And like you said it perfectly. There's times where you don't understand that just because somebody's always been there, it doesn't mean that they're always supposed to be there. And I've realized that, and sometimes it's, worse than others. I think it happens when you are trying so hard to keep somebody there, even though all the signs are trying to show you like, hey, it's not, I don't know if anybody's ever been in like a relationship where it's just like, you're trying to make it work. But if you're being honest, know it's not working. But the reason why it's challenging is because you can't just give up. You feel me? Like if it's every fucking thing. Yo, Kyle, we need to do a show called The Gray Area, yo. I'm telling you right now, like I feel like I've been talking about balance and like in the middle and all that shit for so long. Everything is gray area because it's just like you need to be able to figure out, I've done enough, I haven't done enough, this needs to go. Like it's time. Okay, I've tried. I didn't just immediately. Oh, she didn't make the spaghetti the way I like it. Fuck it. Or I've been eating this spaghetti for 17 years and I've never liked it. Two extremes. You got to get to a point where you're like, hey, we've tried to eat this spaghetti, 5, 6, 7 times, and this shit ain't working out. I just don't like it. But that is a very challenging and, like I said, mature understanding that you have to have, because I've dealt with people in my recent life, and I'm talking both family, and close friends, to where it's just like, even though we spent our entire life together and we've done so much stuff, so much growth, right now where we are, we do not match. And we cannot, and even though we're trying, even though we're doing certain things, separation, that magnet shit is real. That attraction shit is not just for when you love and you're interested in a girl or some shit, but that attraction shit, the repel, you just feel it. Nothing we talk about is similar. Kyle, shit, I'll be honest with you. You and me. I'm not trying to be fucking mean, bro, but I'm just saying there's a lot of people I don't want to talk to anymore. Doing this shit, this is talking is all we fucking do. We've been talking for an hour and some change. I don't talk to nobody like this. Besides my wife.
About to say,
you like the only other fucking person that I think I've told you this before, but you are like the only other person. I'm not fucking lying, bro. I'm being dead ass right now. Like, you're like the only other person that I really have or even care to have these fucking conversations with, man. And you know, it's a good thing, and I definitely appreciate you for that, for sure, man.
Same, man. Same.
It's just like, it's weird. You don't know what is what all the time, and you have to be able to have the knowledge and the wisdom to confidently understand that and be able to let go, because people aren't supposed to be around you all the time, man.
No, it's very like it's very it is a hard truth. There are and like I said, there have been times where I have let go, and that person or people have come back in my life, and they're a better person. Like they work, I worked on myself, so did they. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We went on two separate journeys, but it led us back to being friends, or led us back to, you know, having each other's number in our phone, like our phones again. You know, I love the people that are in my life. You know what I'm saying? And the ones that have been in my life for a long time, those are family to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
definitely.
And even my girlfriend, I put her right up there with my family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
The connection with us is deep. And I'm not just saying that because we're in a relationship. It's like we've had these tough conversations, and I'm waiting for more. I'm waiting for more. I don't care if it's a like nice fluffy conversation or a really like just life altering conversation. I want that with her, and life, and it's important. And life is showing me it's happening. I don't know what's happening next, and that's scary. I will admit that I'm not the type of person that likes change, but without even realizing it, I have changed. Like even my friends have pointed it out. Like my best friend in the world, my brother, he calls me, like he says, "Oh, the old Kyle would never do that." He likes me, who I like. He has seen my growth and progression. We've known each other since high school.
Yeah.
You know? And he's like, "Man, if you were you back in the day, it'd be a totally different story." He like sees the way I grew, and he basically congratulates me for it, because I didn't notice until other people started pointing it out. You know?
Oh yeah.
So
that's a good thing to have around you too, because it doesn't always go that way, man.
Right.
And I think in my situation where, you know, I've had people around me who've known me at, I mean, like I'm sure with you too, but just like such completely different stages of life, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I've expressed on this show so many times, like I was a wild motherfucker when I was like back in the day to now. Like it's crazy. There's days where I talk to my wife and we'll be talking about something and we'll get a weird ass thought about something, and it's like, and then I think about it and I'm like, damn, like that's right. I remember the time where I did that shit. That's crazy. And I'm like, how the fuck am I not in jail? How the fuck am I? How did I make it? Bro, I'm no bullshit. Like I've literally had conversations where I was just like, how the fuck am I still here? Like I did all that shit and I'm still. And then it's like, then you realize like I'm here. I got kids. I got this. I got that. Like there was a point where, you know, one of the reasons why I know I had to separate myself from a lot of people, especially people who used to know me, like when I was like early 20s, like, you know, even like middle school, like, you know, people who knew me that long, they didn't accept the fact that I have become different. I'm not the same person that I was, because it really was a drastic change, man. And to this day, I'm still surprised by it to a degree. That's why I credit my wife like super hard, because I know she went through a lot, like trying to tame the fucking beast at the beginning. But it's like, she stuck through it, and it's like she really is a big reason I know that I made it apparent to say, if I continue to go the way that I'm going, I'm gonna be alone forever, bro. Because my reckless disregard, like that's like a key word. I didn't give a fuck, bro. I didn't care. As soon as something happened where it was just like the slightest shit. Oh, the car check engine light came. Okay, fuck it. Throw the whole car out. I don't care about it. I'll just get a new car later. I didn't care. I dismiss it in a heartbeat. But then I started to realize the value of keeping something and building something and growing something, making a garden, shit that I never thought that I'd experience, bro. And from that change came the change to where I adapted people. Of course, growing children, you see them, and like I know a lot of the relationships that, like you just said, you said it best, where it's just like that you have to realize that everybody is not always supposed to be around you. A lot of it was because I changed, and people still saw me as the same, or kind of expected me to still kind of be the same. And even though I have a lot of the same traits and the characteristics or whatever, I don't have the same.
Those things are never going to go away. But
yeah,
they're never going to go away. But,
yeah.
But you learn from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always been an introverted nerd. I know this about myself. I have always been an introverted nerdy guy. But now I'm an introverted nerdy guy who, when the time comes for it, can stand up for myself. I couldn't always do that.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
And I'm not, man. And I'm not saying like being mean or anything like that, because that's not my style. I hate it when I used to hate it when I would get mad, because I felt like nobody took me seriously. Whether it be my stature, I'm only 5'4". I have a noticeable disability, and I have weak balance. I know that I'm looked at as someone that needs to be protected more than I am looked at as someone who is a protector. But now I have someone that I want to protect, and we're protecting each other's peace. I don't want to just protect her to say, I'm not trying to be no big strong dude. I'm just trying to be. My thing is, I want to help her protect her peace.
Yeah, and that's important.
I want to be that person that she can rely on. If she needs to come home and vent, I will listen. Cup of tea in hand. Okay, I don't care how long it takes. That is the love of my life. That means I'm going to protect her, and protect her peace first before anything.
Yeah, and that's people. You are right. People do act like that's not. People do act like that's not something that is important. Like people do it, and my wife. I'm still learning how to do that better with my wife as well, because I find it so easy, and I know that, like I said, like my wife has brought me a long way. I mean, I brought her a long way too, but she definitely has given me the opportunity to help grow. Yes. Basically, or whatever. Yes. But like you said, man, your peace, like your foundation, the peace in knowing that you have somebody who's willing to grow with you, who's willing to accept when things are going bad, who's understanding enough to know things ain't always going to go good. And like you said, Kyle, it's not always just about, hey, listen, the bully is trying to take your lunch money in the parking lot. Like that shit happens a lot less when you get older. Like, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, everybody can go get you a motherfucking pew and put somebody to sleep. I don't know who you are. That's all you got to do. But at the end of the day, when you're somebody who is willing to listen, when you're somebody who is willing to talk, those factors are enormous, bro. Especially for mature adults. It's fun when you're a fucking kid and all you're chasing is, I want the bad boy. I want the this. I want the that. I want the ass and titties. Like, yeah, that shit is fun. until it's not. Same thing with when you get to around the people who are, who you're outgrowing around you. You get to a mature state where you understand, man, I'm tired of being stressed out. Man, I'm tired of this job that's got me. Man, I'm looking for a job. Man, I can't do. Man, I'm always worried about this girl cheating on me. Man, I'm always worried about the dog shitting on the floor. Every time I turn around, I got another worry up my ass. It feels amazing. When you got somebody, yeah, they may be a pain in the ass and part of that sometimes, but they're taking some of it, but they're helping through it. But they're, you know what I'm saying? Like, you share it. Even if it's just man, I had kind of a bad day today. What happened? Oh, man, this guy just kind of looked at me weird and then didn't let me go past him when I was walking. Oh, that sucks, baby. That sucks. That little conversation. You know what? Fuck that shit. Let's go to Olive Garden. Let's go chill out for the night. Let's not even cook. We got to pay the light bill. That shit'll be on. We always got to pay the light bill. Let's go.
You always got to pay the light bill.
You feel me?
Man. I just, no. People just want to be seen. And I don't mean just like seen as in, oh, I see you with my eye. No, I mean seen as the person as they are. You know what I'm saying? They want to be heard. They want to they sometimes just want people to just listen to them. Yep. I do that all the time. I do
venting,
that
whatever,
all the time. I will vent. I will get on a freaking soapbox during a conversation with Babe, and she will be like, "Babe, this is you being truthful and passionate right now. Let it out."
Don't you?
Let it out.
You have that, yeah. It's really good that you guys got that with each other.
And then she'll and also I know. Okay, I haven't been in this relationship longer than some people. We're only going on 3 years. But within that 3 years, we have learned a lot about each other and ourselves. And I wouldn't want to have it any other way. That's my person. Yeah. So when she's having a bad day and she wants to vent about something, I let her, because really all I want to do is be right next to her and cuddle. Like if you want to vent or whatever, let's just breathe it out. You tell me what you got to tell me. I will listen, and then I'll have some tea for you afterwards.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's comforting. That's comforting, bro. That's comforting, and it's really like I said before. Until you get older, you just really don't appreciate the level of comfort and just relief, relief, whatever you want to call it. Like you just don't understand how much you need that shit, bro. You just need that person that you and not to burden somebody with it, but who accepts it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I love that, bro. And I'm glad you got that. I'm definitely glad I got it. But you definitely keyed that when you said like what your mom said. They're around for reasons, around seasons, like
around for reasons and seasons.
It's such a true statement, bro. And talking to, like we said, we're like the same age, and it's just you don't understand this shit as much as you do until you start getting older, man. My high school is they put out ads for the 20-year anniversary of graduating high school and everything like that. And I see it on Facebook, and I'm looking, and I'm just like, you see all the old people who went to high school with you, and I still, I don't know if people still get it or not, but we're part of the only generation who have been able to see the people you went to high school with. For the most part, you can see a lot of the people that you went to high school with, and see everything they've done in life. I know there's people on that I went to high school with, and I don't even follow them like that. But just because they're on your feed and you scrolling, and you doing this, I've seen the kids they've had. I've seen the pictures of the kids when they were babies, and then all of a sudden I'm 2026 now, whatever, and I'm looking. One of the security guards that I went to that I worked at before I even moved to Georgia back in like 2012. I had I remember when he had first had his baby and stuff like that or whatever, and I saw a picture the other day where his wife had posted. This girl's like fucking 14, 15 years old, and I'm like, damn. I remember talking to your dad outside the damn store, about how excited he was to be a dad and this and that. And I'm like, I haven't talked to that motherfucker in 20 years. You know what I'm saying? But it's like we've
it's
never been able to do that before. So
no, it's hilarious. That's the great part about social media.
yeah,
But it's also like it's also be careful what you post. But at the same time, seeing you could go back and see a whole timeline in just pictures and little word posts, or in reels. You could see an entire life from beginning to where they are now, and it's like, but man, hold on, we weren't even this close, and I got people on my feed that I've known since elementary school, and I'm like, we weren't all that close, but I feel like I know their family, and I'm happy for them. Like,
yeah,
I am so happy for them. Oh my God, how many kids you got? Word. Oh, you got that new job. Word. Like, it's
crazy, bro.
It's absolutely crazy, but it's only crazy because we're seeing it happen.
Yeah.
As things are being posted. Before, we just had to sit back and wonder when we were living that analog life.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? We had to sit back and wonder, get a phone call one day. Oh, so and so is about to go to space. What?
Yeah.
Oh, I knew that. Wait, what you mean that kid who was always in detention, he's an astronaut now? What the heck does that mean?
I'm trying to tell you, isn't that crazy? And we get the live feed, and like I was saying, like the 20 years in high school, and I'm just like, damn. But it's like a part of me is just like, I mean, I get that, but like you said, back in the analog days where it was like, you used to just leave and just, hey, I wonder what happened to Judy or whatever, like my first girlfriend, and then now it's just like, you get to see it. So how much are you missing? Like, I know it'd be cool. Like if I really wanted to talk to somebody, I could. Hey, I'm still in the same area. Hey, what are you doing? Let's go get some lunch, yo. It's not a date. Let's just go talk about old times.
Yeah, let's just catch up.
And it's just like, it's just crazy that you have that opportunities so frequently now that you see something like high school reunion, and you're like, man, that brings back memories because it's like it's a timestamp, but it's not as. Yeah,
that's it. It's a timestamp.
Yeah, it's a giant time. It makes you realize like 20 years. Of course, like the other thing that makes you realize that shit when they have the 20th anniversary of like the movie that comes out, or like the 50th anniversary of The Sandlot, and you're like, damn, I've been watching The Sandlot since I was a kid, and it's like 30 years ago, and I'm like, damn, bro, it's
when they do have. I remember number one, they did a whole documentary for an anniversary special for the Sandlot kids, and I'm cool. I'm glad that they're all cool with each other, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm glad that they're all cool with each other. But one thing that hit me hard when their anniversary, they did an anniversary video for the kids from the 90s Matilda movie.
Right? Yeah, I just saw that. Was like, wasn't that like kind of recent? That wasn't that.
Yeah,
long
that was a few years ago. They did one for the Little Rascals too, and I just remember so much started flooding to my head because that was one of my older cousins' like favorite movie. Now she would come over. Rascal. She would come over, not the Little Rascals, Matilda.
Matilda, yeah.
She would watch the heck out of that tape because we had we had it on tape, and she would come by the house every weekend, pretty much, right? Like every weekend she would sleep over, pop in Matilda. She knows the entire movie from beginning to end. Me too.
Yeah, Matilda was good.
Right? And it got to a point where, and I haven't, and we don't talk like we used to. She has since moved. The last time I saw her was last summer for a short, like 15-minute time frame. But within that 15 minutes, I saw her kids, my little cousins. Some of them are going to, like some of them are still, very young. Others are going to college. And I got to reminisce about what we were like when we were kids, and now we're complaining about the same stuff. We're complaining about bills and rent and stuff like that, and having a good old time doing it. It's like you're complaining, but you're laughing because you can relate.
Exactly, and that's what that's really what it is. It's like you got somebody who understands what you got going on, and you guys can enjoy the pain and not just experience it. Another reason, like why you leave people, like why everybody's not always meant to be around. It's you. It. I don't know if it's misery loves company. I don't know if it's just like minds think alike. I don't know what it is, bro.
But it's just like when you're like, okay, like I've decided I never want to have kids, right? But my friends who have kids, right? They still keep me in the loop. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm Uncle Kyle to their kids, right?
Yeah.
But when I see them talk about their kids and the fact that they're practically raising them together, same thing with my sister and her best friends, right? She got a best friend from elementary school. She got a best friend from college. They're all basically raising their kids together, right?
Yeah.
And it makes me think about how I was raised. I had a village growing up, right? It was my mom, it was my cousins, it was my uncles, my aunts, and my mother's best friends who became like my aunts. Like I didn't even know some of them weren't related to me by blood. I just kept calling them my cousins because we grew up together.
Yeah.
You know? So when I see my friends or my sister's friends talk about like what's going on with what's going on with their families and seeing that they have that village mentality, it makes me as an uncle, as a brother, feel so great. You know?
Yeah, man. I miss that too. I tell my kids about, because just like you just said, like I had that same kind of experience, like where we were always around our cousins and our grandmas, and having those the sleepover weekends. We out of school, go over there Friday night, stay over there until Sunday, bro. Man, I mean, sometimes I look at my house and I'm just like, luckily for my kids, like there's a lot of them, so it's like they have each other, but it's like, man, we had so many of us, bro, where we just were out and about and running around, and you had my aunts and you had my uncles and grandmothers and grandfathers, and it was just like you forget that community, that village, like the lessons you learned, the men that you were around. If you're, you know what I'm saying, I'm dealing with that with my son now. Like there was a lot of things that I did learn. Luckily, sometimes it can be some weird shit going on, but luckily I didn't experience anything like that. But I had just like the lessons, like, being taught by different uncles or different men that were around the family and shit like that, or whatever, examples to like what to do, what to be, what not to be, even uncles. And but it's just like you get all of that from the experience and you grow and you gain shit from that. So it's like when all you have is maybe you got one or two, still good, but it's definitely that like you said, the village, where it's like even your older cousins or your younger cousins, you're learning how to take care of kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that was one of the things my god brother, my mother and them used to get my god brother when he was a baby, my god brother Sean, and I was like shit, fucking what, like 10 years old or whatever, but I was watching them change the diapers and stuff like that. My youngest sister was, a year younger than me, so I didn't experience like seeing a baby get changed and everything like that or whatever. So those experiences I learned from watching my baby cousins. I learned from, so when it came time where the baby was around, I wasn't brand new to this shit because I remember seeing it. So it's like you don't understand the lessons that you're learning from when you're around loved ones, when you're around people who actually care about taking care of you. Back in the day, you even used to have more like, not the village anymore, but maybe it was the community. The community cared about the kids in the neighborhood. Let's make sure all the kids are home. Let's make sure the kids are safe. Let's make sure there's no weirdos around in my fucking neighborhood. Now you got people who take advantage of it. You probably did back then too, but now you really got motherfuckers take advantage of it and try to go too hard, HOA and all the jerk offs that are running.
My aunt had told me about that, like, because she grew up around communities where, like, if a relative asked you to go to buy cigarettes and you were like, but you were like 6 years old, they'd give you like a note to give to the guy at the store because that clerk knew your family.
Yep.
So even though technically he should not be giving you the cigarettes, you hand him the money with the note. He knows your mom. He will watch you as you walk home. And that was the community taking care of each other.
Taking care of each other.
And that's why you could get away with that kind of stuff, because it wasn't on some weird stuff. It was like, listen, I'm protecting this little one because I know their family. I'm cool with their mother. I'm cool with whomever. So they are protected, and they are protected here. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really feel like we have that much anymore. Like,
because everybody's a fucking weirdo now, man, and everybody's got so much information, and it's making everybody. And I mean, this is just my theory, but it's making everybody. We got too much information for our own good, bro.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
we get fatigued constantly.
Yeah, we definitely do.
We're slapped in the head with so much like temporary dopamine hits and all this, and all this stuff. Like the shorts have just made it worse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, your attention span is shit. You can't watch a movie anymore. You can't watch 20 minutes. Yo, listen, I'm saying it like everybody else, but I'm telling you right now, I put Hulu on. Me and my wife had a nice little date night. We were trying to watch they remade Cutthroat Kitchen, which it's fucking horrible.
But you had fun. You had fun laughing at it, huh?
I mean, listen, we had fun until I got Hulu, right? But I got Hulu with the ads. And when the first ad came on, we shut it off. That's how bad shit. I talk about like everybody else, but I'm telling you right now, that shit came on. That ad said 1 minute and 20 seconds. I said, get the fuck out of here. This ain't 1995, motherfucker.
You see that? No, you see that YouTube.
This shit.
You see that YouTube expanded their ad timing, right? It's like at 40 seconds now.
I did notice that. You want to know something? It's even worse when you watch it on the television, because what they do is you'll have some ads that are like this. You still get the quick ads that they'll make you watch. You can't even skip it anymore.
Yes, you can't skip them. Mm-mm.
But then you'll have the ones where it's like they make you watch a minute worth of ads before you can skip. Yep. And that shit is crazy too. That's why I've bought premium a couple of times now, because I like to watch different things. Like there's old shows like Laurel and Hardy, like slapstick comedy. I like to watch all that old school stuff a lot. So then or like restoration video. I fucking love restoration videos, bro. But I don't like sitting there with ads, or I'll play it at night. Like I'll just have it like on repeat. I'll have a playlist on repeat at night. But then you get a fucking ad that'll be on for 7 minutes. And then, you wake up and you try to. I like to wake up and like,
you wake up.
Catch. I'm telling you, bro. I'll put a fucking playlist on. I'll put Netflix on, whatever. Yeah. And then I do it with Seinfeld. I do it with The Office. I do it with all these different shows. And I'll start watching an episode and I'll be on like, it'll be on episode 1. And then all of a sudden you go to sleep and you wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And it's on episode 7. And you're like, and I'll go all the way fucking back to 1. And watch that shit and fall asleep 5 minutes later.
Because it's so true.
That's my shit, bro. I cannot. I've never been able to be the person, and my wife hates it. She's dealt with it now, but I've never been able to be the person that can sleep in just darkness. Like maybe a radio, but I have to have something that's engaging me so I can shut my brain off a little bit. Because otherwise I'm just laying there, just fucking thoughts just running through my head like a marathon, bro.
You ever been tested for anything?
Oh, here we go. No, I haven't.
I'm just saying, have you ever been tested for like ADHD or anything?
My wife says this shit all the time, especially because my daughter, she's autistic, high functioning. So it's like my wife says, and ever since we've gotten her tests and stuff like that, I honestly, I don't know. It's fucking weird, bro. Maybe I got some shit. I don't know, bro. I don't feel like I do. But
I mean, it's not a problem if you do. It's just good to know, like good information to have. You know what I'm saying?
I've never gotten tested. I've always just I guess dealt with it. But I've just always had like those factors. Like, man, I don't like. My brain is just on constant fucking go mode, bro. It never stops. Like, I used to try to rap when I was younger, and when I sit down and write, forget about it. I'm fucking destroying shit. But as far as like freestyle and just be able to just, off the dome, it just goes too fast, man. It goes, my brain is just constantly fucking just going.
Like people will say like they think Eminem might be autistic because of the way he rhymes.
I bet. I think a lot of those guys are, bro. They have, and that's also by definition I think that's important to mention too, because think about it, bro. Anything you put a definition to,
Yep.
that's the description of it. So if you put a definition to something and that's what you invent for that purpose, then that's now what the label is. So, and like you said, it's not anything bad, but it's just like it's a definitive character trait. So if there's somebody who's autistic and they're, very low functioning, and they're the ones that are in the store, they can't communicate verbally, they're hitting their parents, they're running around and they're making noises and they're being loud, and they're not anywhere of like coherence, on a cognitive level, whatever you want to call it, whatever's the terminology, to put them in the same association, or to make the reference or the definition in the same association using the same word, autistic. It's the same word. It's not a different word. It's not a different label. So it makes you feel like, hey, man, I'm not that, so I can't be that. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't learn about the different stages until we started to check things out. I just don't understand how everything is so categorized instead of separated. Because how the fuck can anybody think that, hey, maybe I should get tested for something, when you have so many vast examples? Like, why would I think I have a problem if I don't look like this, or if I don't look like that?
The thing is, all right, as someone who has a physical disability that is obviously visible, right? Like, you can tell that I have something when you see me walking. I've always had a limp, always. You know what I'm saying? Even with 3 surgeries, I still have the limp, right? But what I learned about, because they didn't really give me a lowdown on the type of CP that I had. My aunt and I had to look it up ourselves, and that wasn't until I was in my mid to late 20s, right? My parents, they knew bits and pieces about what I have. Like, in my case, it's called spastic dysplasia, but they did not know, because there's different, it's a spectrum, just like autism has a spectrum. Everything has a spectrum. In my case, I have, I'm pretty, I don't want to say like high functioning or whatever, because you never know what the person's capable of. You just got to give them the space to do what they do. In my case, people were already expecting, because we grew up in the 90s. The information was sparse, so people were expecting wheelchair. I had crutches and braces, but they were expecting slow speech patterns. They were expecting everything that you would see on TV, But then when they realized, oh wait, no, he can do a lot on his own, people were surprised. You know what I'm saying? Like, surprised, because they're so used to what they see on TV until they started talking to me. But then I see other people I see other people with, with a cerebral palsy diagnosis. But this is when I started learning the differences on the spectrum of cerebral palsy. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's very interesting to me every time you hear someone say that they have autism or they have ADHD, and how they can cross over the two of them. You know what I'm saying?
It's that, and that's the same thing that we learned when we were like, trying to figure out what her situation was. Because I mean, not to go too much into it, but when I got, in a relationship with my wife, like, she had her daughter, and I came in with my son, and that's how we met. And they were fucking, 5-6 years old. Now they're 15. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's like, when I first saw her, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, this, you could just kind of tell there was something a little bit. It was like, with her, one giant thing with her was she won't just watch TV. Like, she's fucking in the television. Like, if she could jump in that motherfucking and hold hands with the characters, like, that's what first linked me. And then there was this other like little things where I was like, and I think her mom, like, she kind of knew, but she also was kind of just like, I don't know if she was kind of taking it seriously, like if it was if it was more just like, hey, she just got a big imagination, or hey, it's just this, like, where you kind of just like, you just think what you think.
Yeah.
But I kind of was just like, nah, I think it's something more than that. Like, it was like, it was a tell. I don't know how to fucking say it, but it's just, we didn't learn, just like you just said, everything that you just said, until we started hearing like how you diagnose it, how you look at this. She had to take like a test, she had to do all this stuff or whatever, and that's when they come to us and they tell you, well, she's got all it's like she's on the spectrum, or she's got this, but it's high functioning, so it's like you really may not notice. She should be able to do this, and like you just say, Kyle, like these are all just like fucking labels that you really can't do shit with, because it's like, like I said, unless it's obvious, you know what I'm saying? And nothing against anybody who is in a wheelchair or whatever, but it's just like, when you see somebody in a wheelchair, and you're like, okay, let me, I'm not nobody. They do what they fucking do. They probably do better than you can do it and shit. But I'm not gonna be an asshole and stand in front of like, oh, let me go use the bathroom that only they can use. You know what I'm saying? Let me go take a shit here, even though I see this guy is right behind me or something like that. I'm not gonna fucking put myself in a position to be a problem to somebody who's already like dealing with something that may be a little different. So it's like, it is easier for somebody in the back on the other side looking in to be like, okay, I understand something is going on. Let me be respectful. Let me be patient, whatever you want to call it, or whatever.
Be patient.
Exactly. Patient is a good, because I grew up with my grandfather was in a wheelchair when I was a kid, and one of the things I used to do, because I used to like hanging out with my grandfather, I used to take his wheelchair out of the car, open it up for him. I push him in the grocery stores and shit like that, or whatever.
Nice.
I understood like the life, but that was obvious. So now I'm dealing with a situation where it's like, well, it's autism, but it's high functioning autism. I'm like, I don't fucking. Yesterday, I just found out autism was a thing. Like, I don't know what the traits are, and then you look into it, and then you find out there's people who, the motherfuckers who were over there, and they went in Minecraft and they made a whole fucking Colosseum in the Roman Empire and shit in a week. And you're like, how the fuck? Hey, Kyle, not for nothing, but it also backs up we're fucking superheroes. I told you, bro, I'm telling you, it's
everybody's brain functions differently.
It's
like that, like that's why when I hear the term average, I cringe. Because you're only using that as a term for like, how many people have you actually tested to see what the average person's intelligence was, or the or the average, like, especially what time, like, I mean, what time period was it? Because there are so many studies that have been since debunked or looked at and then realized, oh wait, they forgot this study versus this study versus that. This is why I can't stand RFK Jr. I can't stand that guy. I don't want to go into a whole thing, but every time I hear him and he says, well, before there was, I don't want to do it. Do his voice. No, I don't want to, because technically he's disabled too.
Motherfucker, like he's struggling.
Technically he's disabled too. That worm got a hold of him and it just messed him up. But it's like, well, we did a study back in that, and they determined that, and this might. I'm like, just a week, like what? Just a couple months ago, they had people thinking that, what was it, Tylenol caused autism? Stop it.
Oh, man.
Would you stop?
Say that shit too.
Stop it. Just stop it. Listen to people, for goodness sake. Instead of, oh my God, instead of trying to discredit the scientists who have already figured certain things out about the brain, how about talk to the people who are going through it? How about it? How about we sit back and talk to the 70-something-year-old who was had diagnosed with autism at a very early age when the information wasn't all there? What have they gone? What have they gone through? Has there anything that they've discovered? Like I've been watching this woman, this scientist. Her name is Temple, right? And she was diagnosed with autism back in the freaking 50s. Okay, and she figured out, she couldn't, and she couldn't verbalize until like age 6 or 7, right? But she learned different things about herself and how, and how touch is important and how to communicate with animals and and stuff like that. And now she's written books about autism, and she's gone back and interviewed people, and she's like, man, if I knew this back then, they probably would have been diagnosed with with autism or ADHD or this too, because there are tells. So it's like, but can we talk to the people who are going through it though? They probably know more than we do. My goodness gracious.
There's so much, bro, and who's to tell with all the shit that we got now? That's why you hear. Another thing is that I can't stand, bro. I heard somebody doing this the other day, but we live in such a weird world where it's like people also, they super hyper fixate on shit, and it's just like if you have something available that can, I guess, explain away your personality or the way you do things, like you're so fast to fucking diagnose yourself. Oh, I didn't do that. I like the way that my shelf is stacked, so it's just my OCD. Shut the fuck up, bro. You're just trying to fit into a category. You don't got everybody who likes their room clean is now OCD. Like, just calm down. I just don't feel like everybody. I feel like everybody is like more so wanting to have a title or feel regulated.
There are some out there who will tell you straight up they feel like they would be happier if they were like a certain way. I mean, like there are people out there who want to be disabled. Like literally, so they will disable themselves on purpose because they feel like that would make them happier,
get them more attention or some shit like that or whatever. Different reasons.
And it's very like, okay. So there was a documentary that came out not too long ago, and it wound up on Netflix. It was on other things before Netflix, but it was about a guy that had cerebral palsy and a few other things, and he ended up getting tutored by a woman who was around a lot of you know the documentary I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
And while I say, I do not totally agree with the family about how he was treated and everything else like that. I do believe that he was communicating himself, but I also believe that this woman fetishized him.
I definitely think that.
I do believe that this woman fetishized him because she said herself, because she grew up around disabled people all the time, she found them very fascinating and stuff like that. And then that other stuff went down with him. So it's like,
let him get some, bro. Leave him alone, all right? She was all right looking, so I
my biggest thing was she was still married at the time. Like my biggest thing was like she was married at the time.
That man was getting it in. Shit.
And he made the first move, and she just reciprocated. And I'm like, you know what? I would not have the nerve at any point in time to do that.
That man was like, listen, bro, you seem like you liking it over here. Let me show you something. Listen, Cal, bro, listen, bro. We've been talking it up.
I know,
man.
we've been talking like,
Feels good to be back. Beeline, it feels good to be back. I can't wait to get back in the mic and show you guys that I'm back. I hope that whoever heard this and was watching this tonight with us, Kyle, I really appreciate you coming on, bro. I was looking forward to talking with you and stuff like that. I didn't want to wait for Thursday, but Thursday we are back, bro. So I hope that you
I got a watch list. Mm-hmm.
Yes, we gonna definitely do a watch list episode. We'll do a coming soon episode soon because there's a lot of stuff coming and going. But we're gonna talk a lot. But this has been an awesome episode, bro. It's been good just kind of powwow and talk about some things. But Beeline, listen, man, thank you guys so much once again for watching. We are back tomorrow night, of course, with Straight Through the Ropes Wrestle Talk, where we'll be talking all things wrestling, what's been going on in this WrestleMania season. We got Ronda Rousey returning in AEW, and we got a lot going on, bro. So we're going to go ahead and touch bases on that as well. Join us tomorrow night, 9:00 p.m. with the STR Nation. And then, of course, Thursday night, we'll be back with the entertainment show. And me and Kyle are going to be talking about a lot of fun stuff. So definitely be here, 9:00 p.m. Eastern time. back at it. Cal, what you been doing? What's up with A for Able, man? You still on hiatus for a little bit, or you got some episodes?
We're about to drop a new episode. We're going to drop a new episode very, very soon.
Awesome.
I'm still looking for more people to interview. You want to talk about what it's like living with a disability, or if you're just talking about, you just want to talk about mental health and stuff that's going on, that's where you want to be. A for Able on YouTube, Spotify, and wherever else you get your podcast fix.
Definitely. Definitely. But guys, listen, thank you so much for rocking with us tonight. Another episode of the Beeline Web Show is in the books. I believe this is episode 156, man.
Wow.
Cannot believe it. 156 episodes of this show that started everything here on the Web Show. But guys, listen, until tomorrow night, I'm going to tell you, stay true, stay positive, pay attention to what is going on, because it's a lot going on. And we'll see y'all tomorrow night. We out. Peace out, Kyle. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed that episode, make sure you head on over to the Beeline Entertainment LLC YouTube channel, where we have so much more for you. We have the Beeline Web Show on Tuesday nights, as well as Straight Through the Ropes Wrestle Talk on Wednesdays, and of course, the Beeline Entertainment Show on Thursday night. Join us and make sure that you hit that like, hit that share, and of course, subscribe with that bell button for the notifications, so you can make sure you're getting all the great content from the Beeline Entertainment LLC. Let's go!